So, good evening, folks. I'm sitting here in not so sunny Canada, and opposite me, let's see, hang on, no, other that way, yeah, that way, is Stuart Gray, who is the director of marketing and event promotion at Knockhill Raceway. And the reason we're talking to Stuart is that there are big things happening at Knockhill this year. Would you like to explain, Stuart?
Yeah, certainly. Nice to be on your podcast, and thanks for the invite. Um, Basically, it all revolves around our 50th anniversary. Um, Circuit opened in September 22nd, 74, and 50 years to the day, we had a bike meeting to 50 years later, which was fantastic. Many champions from the last 5 decades. And in a couple of weeks' time, May 18th, 2025, it'll be 50 years to the day since the first car event. So we're doing the same again. We're having a 50th anniversary meeting. We, would you believe, have over 100 drivers are coming as our guest. Uh, we're looking after them. There's going to be a recreation of the official opening with Chris Amon back in the day, this time with a Pilbeam sprint car rather than the famous 5,000 car they had. And we're hopeful that if the weather's kind to us, there'll be a lot of reminiscing and chatting and catching up from all the guys that competed in the 70s, 80s, and 90s right up to present day. So, uh, marking 50 years, that's what this year's all about. We've done the bikes, we're about to do the cars, and in September, we'll mark 50 years of rally sport. So, a lot to look forward to.
Now, the one thing that uh, some people won't know is that Scotland has produced a lot of great racers, and the track at Ingliston, and then after it went away, Knockhill really was a big part of that whole deal. They know the Jackie Stewarts and all of that, but there are just so many others, including uh, somebody that has got a really close affiliation with the track, and that would be a certain Flash Shedden.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right with the success of the Scots. I think we possibly the only country in the world to have had a world champion on two wheels, three wheels, and four wheels. And the the I think it's partly down to the circuit, but I think a lot of it is down to the Scottish determination, the Scottish attitude. Um, the vast majority of racing in the UK is obviously in England, and you've got to travel down there on the Friday, take part, and get back Sunday night to then go to work on Monday. And that takes a lot of time, effort, and determination. And I think not only in motorsport, but in many sports and other activities, Scotland punches above its weight, and a lot of that's down to the characters of or characteristic of being Scottish. So the circuit's played a small part in that. I'm sure. David Coulthard, Dario Franchitti, Alec McNish, Peter Dunbrek, loads of others all cut their teeth on Knockhill. We let all of these guys on track early before they were legally allowed to drive a racing car to get them up to speed with the famous David Leslie Senior and Junior. And so I think it's a combination of things. Part of which is the circuit, but there's so much more to it than that.
Now, what some of these guys may not have actually had the chance to do, and that is, another thing that people don't really know is that Knockhill has a license to run in both directions.
Yep.
And, you know, it's like going to a different track. Now, do you run it one way one day and then the other day the next day, or is it meeting to meeting that you swap around?
It takes 10 minutes to swap direction, and with our race meeting, we're only allowed to run one direction per day. We can't switch, but in fact, I think we had one today actually, twin track we call it, where the guys on a car track day ran clockwise in the morning and anti-clockwise in the afternoon. So they effectively visited two racetracks on the one day. But when it comes to racing, we do that over a weekend. So just 3 weeks ago, we had a full Scottish Championship race meeting. We ran anti-clockwise on the Saturday with qualifying and racing, and then we flipped the circuit around for the Sunday, and we went clockwise. So it gives Scotland two racetracks, albeit at the one venue.
And that just is, it's more seat time with different aspects to deal with. And that's also which helps these guys get better and quicker and all of that stuff. Now, one of the Wikipedia questions I have is how many circuits can you actually go and see? Because there was various things that I've seen on the internet that it's like you have a international circuit, which will include the hairpin, I believe.
Yep.
The national circuit is the shortcut that is part of the tri-oval.
Correct.
And you have that in both directions.
Both directions. Yeah.
So that's 4.
Yep.
Then you've got the tri-oval. Is it? And it's only
cars.
one direction, is it?
That's one direction. Well, actually, it's both directions because it's primarily used for stock cars, and we've got the return of F1 stock cars in 3 weeks' time. They run anti-clockwise, and the saloons run clockwise within the same meeting. So there's two tracks there, I guess, clockwise and anti-clockwise.
And then the other one, of course, is the rallycross track.
Rallycross, which is single direction, clockwise only. And then we've got a 4x4 track in the middle. We've got the go-kart track, 4x4. In fact, we've got two 4x4s in the middle and on the right of the drive as you come in. So lots of variety, lots of different activities, and we've got the rally stage as well. So come September, we will be hosting the McRae Rally Challenge with multiple world champions present and taking part, and they take over the whole venue using a combination of the racetrack, perimeter road, and the hillside rally stage. So
I would love
we
to
get
be
a lot
there for that.
Yeah, it's going to be a special event.
Now, with all of this various tracks, the one thing that Knockhill has done is it really has become a complex. It has become, you've got garages there, you have got Graham Brunton Racing is based there. My friend, Mr. Tanner, who paints my helmets, is based there. And then you've got, you know, all of these Arrive and Drive, you've got Rally Experience, Aston Martin Experience, even a Teen Drive Experience.
Yeah.
And all of this stuff, I mean, I'm just looking here at the Ultimate Driver's Experience, which you've got on a special deal for $324, I was going to say dollars, pounds, and you get coached in the Alpine A110,
yep.
And this is the new batch of Alpines, I believe.
Yeah, we've got 6 of them. The deal was done with Alpine in France just over a year ago, actually, and already the cars are have been replaced. So we're some of the cars are barely running, but we've got 6 of them, 3 standard ones and 3 S models, which are simply fantastic. Lightweight, agile, amazing brakes, steering, just enough power, about 300 horsepower, because they're only 1,100 kilograms. So the agility of them is remarkable. So that's the training car that everybody drives before they go on and drive a Formula car, the Ferrari, the Aston, the E-Type Jaguar. Everyone drives an Alpine as the sort of familiarization car for the track.
Now, have you ever had to turn around and say, sorry, no, you can't go any further?
Yes, yeah, no, it happens. There can be a variety of reasons. Uh, People not listening and making continual mistakes that will endanger themselves. Some people have been given a present of an experience, and you know they just don't want to do it. You know, they've been given it for a Christmas or a birthday, and they feel obliged that they have to do it, but it's just not for them, and yet their family peer pressure, they have to go and redeem the voucher, and they realise that it's not for them. So we'll do the Alpine bit. Everybody does the Alpine, and if they're too aggressive, too timid, too frightened, or whatever the reason is, then we'll complete the course in the Alpine, because they're always accompanied with an instructor, so they'll never miss out on track time. But if somebody's overly aggressive and endangering themselves or other people on track, then that can be a reason as well, and we'll say no. Sorry, but it's more Alpine for you. So it's not a bad second option.
No, it isn't. And then in like that ultimate experience, you can drive the Formula racing car, the rally car, and get into some competitive karting.
Yep.
So it's, for that sort of money, that's a pretty killer deal. And does that take the whole day then, that one?
Yeah, you're there for about 6 hours, all in. Lunch is included as well, and it's a great course because it literally is you're sampling 5 different vehicles between the Alpine Formula car, rally car, and the go kart. So that's 4. So a good mix, good variety, and a bit of smooth, fast technique on track, and a bit of sideways style on the rally stage, and then the karting is can be a bit elbows out and have a bit of fun.
Now, have you seen people that have come out of your experiences and said, I want to do this and actually go on to compete at the track?
Absolutely. We've got one example who we always mention. This chap did an experience. Started doing track days, was amazing. We encouraged him to move into Super Lap Scotland, our time trial event. Then he moved on to racing, and then he moved up the ladder. And that chap's called Graham Davidson, who went on to become the British GT champion driving an Aston Martin GT. So he was partnering Johnny Adam, multiple Le Mans winner, class winner, and multiple British champion. So Graham is an example of somebody who just enjoyed it, moved on to track days, and with our encouragement and pushing, he went all the way and became a British GT champion driving an Aston Martin. So um, it can happen, and you can tell within 30 seconds, a minute, if somebody's got it or not. And often it's how they respond to instruction and coaching, and it's a team effort in the car in order to get the best out of the driver. Some people, it's blinkers on, and they'll do their own thing, and they'll never improve because they're not going to listen to the instructor. But if somebody works with the instructor, listens to them, put into to practice what the instructor is telling them, they'll progress and they'll get more out of it. So that's what the race schools are all about.
Absolutely. Take it to the track and make it safe. And the one thing that when I went, dropped in one time to see Ian Forrest, and he was swanning off somewhere in the Mediterranean or something. But I just went, wow, what a difference from when I had tested there with the clan. And it has just grown so much. There's so much in place for so many different things. People have got opportunities. It's they want to run a race team. They can do what Graham did. I mean, Graham and I laugh and joke about some photos I put up on our Facebook groups for hill climbing, and the first time that George Kogel and I went to Kinkell, I believe, he got his first run to Kinkell with Harry Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like he's gone from just hanging with Harry, polishing Harry's imp, and just, look at him now. He's running the Canadians that are coming over in the race series that they're running. Was it Formula 4,
GB4,
I believe?
Yeah, Team Canada.
Yeah. So, there's lots of opportunities. Now, about the event, can you tell us more about who's coming, what you're going to be, when will we actually see a schedule for that event? Or is it already
this
there?
week? Yeah. No, we're finalized. We have finalized it over the weekend, and it'll go live in the next day or two. It's a 2-day race meeting, but the Sunday is the anniversary event on the 18th of May. As I said earlier, 100 drivers are coming, and virtually every name you've mentioned already are coming. So George Coghill, Ian Forrest, there's Cameron Binney, who's multiple Scottish champion, George Franchitti, father of Dario and Marino, he's coming.
Louis de Resta.
Louis de Resta. He's actually bringing a kart, 250 kart, to go out and have a play, because we've got the karting legends guys.
Okay.
So they're reenacting and going out and doing track sessions on karts that raced in the 80s and 90s. Particularly, there's going to be a tribute to Martin Hines, who was a world champion and raced with us. So all the info will be on in the next day or two. We'll put up a selected list of names. Others from your kind of era were Johnny Fida from Agri Engineering. He's coming along, going out and track. As I say, there's 100 names from the 70s, 80s, 90s, right up to champions from last year. So it's going to be pretty special.
The other unique thing about Knockhill is that your track record is held by a woman.
Yes, Heather Calder, the official fastest lap in a British sprint single-seater, and there's the race lap time is slower, but the fastest competitive lap is Heather. So
in both directions as well.
yeah. So her car, which she competed with her dad, Colin, it's one of these sprint cars that the tires, the fuel, everything is geared for it to do one lap, and it goes out, warm up, one flying lap, and then the slow down lap, and the fuel they'll measure to the milliliter. Tires will go off after 2 laps, probably overheat, I guess. So it is the ultimate in speed machine, purely built to do one lap. We may have that lap broken come September. I would put money on that it could be beaten by the Gobstopper 3, which is
yes, I know the car.
Ollie Clark,
Yeah.
son of Roger Clark, has built the Gobstopper modified cars, Gobstopper 1, 2, and now 3. And apparently Gobstopper 3 is mind-blowingly fast in terms of power, aero grip, mechanical grip, tire grip. It's off the charts. So watch the space for that lap record getting beaten in September.
Okay. So you do know that Heather was a Caithness lassie.
Yes.
Which is where I'm from.
Very good.
Right. In
Must
fact, we can even go and spill the beans on Colin that, you know, in our youth, in, you know, taking excess alcohol and stuff, I can remember at least one night that he spent sleeping on the floor in my place.
Well, we've all had antics like that, and I'm sure in the past.
Yeah. Now the events are run there by the SMRC.
The Knockhill Club, actually.
Is it?
Knockhill
Okay.
Motorsport Club run the events, and the SMRC now they hire track time within a Knockhill Club event.
Ah, okay.
That happened 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's probably coming up on it. Anything else, sir?
No, but just thanks for the opportunity. It's busy year, and if anybody out there fancies it coming along, everything is on the website. All the events and the driving experiences you've mentioned. So it's if people are down in England, it's can be a 4, 5, 7 hour journey, but we can assure you it's worth the journey.
Well, from what I'm seeing here, yes.
Once you're there,
I can't think of any other places that offer such killer deals, you know.
Yeah.
So
no, we try and look after all needs, and whether it's the 2 wheels or 4 wheels on track or rally driving. We are involved with the mini motos for the young bikers from the age of 6.
Is that on the kart track?
Yeah, there's a new RS Academy which actually starts this coming weekend. They use part of the our training center to learn to ride the bikes, and then they move on to the kart track for the final part of their course. But that's a brand new academy starting this weekend.
Oh, cool.
For 6 years old and upwards. The go-karting is obviously a big thing, and as is teen drive that you mentioned, that's giving kids the chance from 13-year-olds and upwards to drive a car. And Junior 1000 rallying, we're very active in supporting that. So they're all four activities are the competitors of the future, hopefully, and worth putting the time and effort in now to see these guys and girls on track in the future.
Actually, we have not talked about British Touring Car.
Yeah, four
that,
Scottish drivers in it this year. Return of Gordon Shedden, Aidan Moffat, Dexter Patterson, and Ronan Pearson. So touring cars is just fantastic as a championship, and they love coming to Knockhill because for a lot of the time they're on two wheels, literally, when they hit the curb at Duffus, at Chicane, at Clark's. The spectacle of touring cars is just incredible.
When we went and looked for this about this trip, I really hoped that the British Touring Cars was at Knockhill in that time, because I just love taking photos of, wheels in the air, over curbs and all of that type of stuff. So unfortunately it didn't happen, but at some point I am going to do it. But I am pretty sure I'm going to have somebody that is normally there that can get me photos. Could you get somebody to do like a article about the event?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the date this year is the 17th of August.
Yeah.
And they just announced the 2026 date already, and we're the first weekend in August next year, so we're slightly earlier in 26. So if you're back over in the UK, make sure you're over at the start of August.
Yeah, and you got British Superbikes as well. Are they
here?
Yeah,
early July, the 4th to the 6th of July. That's just incredible. The speed of the bikes every time we host them is something pretty special, and we've got 3 Scottish riders in it this year with Lewis Rollo, Rory Skinner, and John McPhee, who's returned from 10 years in the MotoGP paddock, and there's high hopes for the Scots to do well this year in the BSB.
The track owner, Derek Butcher, his history is motorcycles, correct?
Yeah. He started off with bikes. Very successful racing at Knockhill, Ingliston, actually, as well. But East Fortune, and he went down to tracks in England, then went on to cars, and then ultimately back to bikes again. But he actually retired in 2020, and his daughter Gillian Shedden took over. So Gillian is now the boss.
Yes.
And between Gillian, her husband Gordon, and myself, we're the 3 directors that look after the venue.
Okay, cool. Now, I don't know if you were there when my friends from Forge Line Motorsports in the States came over last year. They were at Goodwood with Matt Neal, and because Flash was there, they got introduced. But Nicky's family are from Glenrothes, so they were heading north. So they went out to the track, and Gillian took them for a ride. And to say they were quite impressed. Yep. She was no slouch back in the day.
No, absolutely. Race winner, single seaters, saloons, XR2s, and she did the national Formula Fiesta Championship, and the prize that she won within that was a drive in a super touring Mondeo. So not many people can say they've driven the ultimate in super tourers, being the V6 Mondeo. So, but Yeah, very, very capable, and uh, raced a whole lot of cars all over Britain as well. So um, she knows how to pedal a car.
Well, I think the big thing about having a family that's so into racing, like you've described, plus yourself, is that it tells me that the track is in good hands. And these days, that is something that is very important because, you know, you hear of more and more tracks that are closing and are no longer with us. Have you had the encroachment of people building houses near the area, or has that still not happened?
No, thankfully we're good on that front. We're fairly isolated, being uh, literally on a hill, about 5 miles north of Dunfermline. Uh, Dunfermline itself has expanded hugely over the last sort of 10 years, but it's still the housing is still a good um, 4.5 miles away. But we're careful with what we run. We're conscious of noise. Um, Traffic is a big thing. We've got not very many neighbours, but we've still got to make sure our customers arrive and leave sensibly,
Yeah, yeah.
from a road safety point of view. So we're thankfully one of the best circuits, certainly in the UK, for on the planning side, and hopefully that will continue. It's always an evolving scene at the moment, but yeah, certainly with everything that we do, we're very conscious and look after our neighbours as best we can.
Okay, well, thanks, Stuart. I think we can wrap that up at that. And good luck with the event, and we'd love to get coverage of it in the magazine.